clouded in negative thinking. So let's find the other card here. Got the mist. Okay, interesting. So I seem to. This is like the second time, actually, maybe the second or third time where I get the mist around Mabon. Um, because the mist, I remember this one. It's basically like about like the unknown, about uncertainty. Just oh, okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, can y'all see me? Please tell me you see me. So I had to continue on via Twitch without the YouTube half, so I apologize for that. Let me do a test message. Testing. Okay, for some reason it thinks I'm streaming on my second YouTube channel as well. I don't get why it's doing that. It should not be doing that. No. Okay. But it's working. Okay. We're working. We are back in business. Let me just check my Twitch server just to make sure it's actually showing my stuff as well. Yes. Okay. Okay. We are back in business. Thank you very much for your understanding and your patience. I apologize for all the chaos. Hopefully this should be stable. But anyway, we got to the mist, and I was saying, like I said earlier, the mist, I often see it as like trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition, which is like what the cloud has been talking about as well, and very much about embracing the unknown and uncertainty, because sometimes the confusion can actually lead you towards the things that are actually meant for you. Um, the meandering, it can get scary, but eventually you'll get you just need to trust that you're gonna get to something, and that's what seems to be leading to me right there with reading that. I always seem to get it around Mabon Tide as well. It's really interesting. But let me go ahead and give that message a play for you guys. For the YouTube peeps, I'm sorry for the cutoff. My laptop basically died. Um, Even though it was plugged in, I need a new charger, clearly. But I will basically put this reading, the remain like basically in between the big and up until the mist, basically the nameless and the earthy. I'll upload that after the stream's over. So keep an eye out for that. But from this point onward, after today, it's going to be a Twitch exclusive. So if you want to actually see these readings, you're going to have to tune into Twitch for that. But I felt like today, since it was a full moon and it's like the beginning of the year, I figured this would be a good time for me to at least share what I do sometimes. And then you'll know, like, watch to go radio silent on um on on YouTube sometimes when it comes to certain content. But anyway, we keep going. So the mist. Hopefully my mic catches this.
The mist.
Okay, it does.
Feeling confused about which way to go. Feeling directionless. A lack of clarity. Looking within for the answer. Regrouping. Stay put. Don't stumble around. Give more thought to what you want. Clarity may be closer than you think.
Mm, okay, so um, the mist in the cloud around Mabon. It's like a call for me to basically start trusting my instincts a lot more and not stress out that I don't have all the answers at this point, because that can get very scary. It can get very overwhelming initially. But it's very much a call for me to start practicing what I preach in some ways. Get comfortable in uncertainty, and most importantly, to trust. that things are going to be okay. So that's a call for me in Maybon. The fall always is a mess for me for some weird reason, but that seems to be what it's calling for me to do, is just trust in the unknown. Go into the unknown and see what happens. What's in the unknown? Anyway. Final card in terms of the actual wheel of the year. We're getting close to the end, guys, so thank you very much for being so patient with me. Clearly this one takes a little bit, but then again, I also had to give the context for a lot of these cards and a lot of these holidays. So Samhain, All Hallows Eve, Halloween, All Saints Day, Dia de los Muertos, mentioned it earlier. The other holiday, besides Beltana, where the veil between this world and the other world is at its thinnest. This time it's more focusing on ancestors, time has passed, looking back. Hits around October. Maybon's the vernal, not vernal, autumnal equinox. And then now we're getting to basically the final harvest of the season and what some would consider the Celtic New Year. For me, I consider Yule the New Year. For me personally, probably because real calendar is January, maybe some leftover Christmas celebrations and stuff. I feel like for me, Yuletide's the New Year, but for some, Samhain is the New Year. So with that, let's look at what this card we got here. We got the float. I've gotten this one before, actually, and it might have been the same time period. Now I have to double check what I got for that, like what I got for my previous reading from last year during my birthday. But I did pull the float once. But it's a good sign, though, pulling the float. Because it means it's like floating above troubles, floating above frustrations, letting the vibes go up. Let's see what Tumblr has to say about it first, and then we'll go to Leroy's meaning. So the float is under the domain of the windy, meaning above problems, objective, liberation. And then let us see what Leroy has to say.
The fiery.
Not the fiery, the float.
The float. Upward momentum. Letting go of what weighs you down. High ascension energies. The sky is the limit. Dropping away emotional baggage. Heavy situations becoming more lighter. Too in the clouds, ungrounded and impractical. Too focused on things that anchor you down.
Okay, interesting. So, very much seeing a different perspective. It kind of reminds me of the Hangman, but like more up in the air rather than in a tree. But yeah, it's very much things looking on the up and up. So, allow myself to be more optimistic, but not too up in the clouds. And allow myself to experience what it's like to be free during that period, which is interesting because, again, fall's kind of weird for me, especially in recent years. Everything that's been going on then. And it's also the month of my anniversary, like my parents' anniversary is around then too, so maybe it could be something involved in that too. But yeah, we got 2 more cards left. We got a significator and we got a jumper that I felt the need to pull. So, significator, the overarching energy of this entire reading, like the thesis, so to speak, we've got. I was praying it was not gonna be the loop. I was hoping. I literally said, "Watch the loop. Watch the loop come out." I was hoping it wouldn't come out, but like I said, we'll see what the loop is. Now we got an example. We got an example of the loop here. Bingo. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. I. Okay. Okay. We're doing this. We're doing this. Okay. We're seriously doing this. Um, Let me see. So I found the master doc. Um, I found the master doc of all the meanings that I found. Um, that's crazy. Um, did I write down the loop? Yeah, I did. Okay. So the loop, the clamp meaning. I found the clamp meaning here. For clamp, it means connection, a chance to step up. Message. If there are sympathizing, gentle feelings, a lot of people and things begin to connect. Linked by a deep friendship, greater aid will likely be acquirable, and also a warning. You will go round and round in circles if you can't develop any self-satisfaction. Bright, open feelings are important. And then for Failmore, the loop is under the domain of earthy, and it means perseverance, going in a circle in a rut. And let's hear Leroy's interpretation of it. Not the lock, but you.
The loop. The feeling of been there, done that. Being caught in repeating cycles. Trapped in routines. Repeating situations because the lesson hasn't been learned. Stuck doing the same behavior over and over. Needing to be the catalyst for change in your life.
Bruh. Bruh, what? So I'm stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again unless I really lock in. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Y'all. Off camera, I got so much to talk about. But anyway. Let's go for the final one, which is a jumper, which I think is just additional information that the universe wants me to know at this time. Let me get my camera back up. Just to okay, so significant that's significant. Additional information. Here we go. We got oh my god, the shadow. Okay. Okay. At this point, what else is new? What else is new? Oh God. I'm scared now. Um, let's find out what the shadow is. Leroy, do your thing.
The shadow. The shadow self coming to the forefront. Shadow work. Troubling memories resurfacing. Needing to process old issues. Dealing with aspects of yourself you've avoided or ignored. A need to acknowledge other sides of yourself. Hidden aspects of yourself are now realized. Intuition, introspection, and looking deep within.
Ugh. I feel like I've been doing a lot of that already. It's like, when is that gonna end? It's like, it's never gonna. That's the thing. It never does. And in terms of Tumblr, the shadow, it's funnily enough, it's under the domain of the light. I had a little bit of trouble during the last stream when I had to do this. But essentially, it also means the unknown, transformation, and change. And did I get it? Did I get that far when I did this master doc? Let me see. Shadow, 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 shadow. Yes. Okay, here we go. Clamp. Clamp's edition of the shadow. What it means is the unknown, the reason and solution of the problem. Here is the message. In fact, the problem haunting you, like a shadow, is going to give you a message. Since it faces away from the front of the problem, the direction which should be followed probably will come into view. And the warning. When you always avoid poor and unpleasant things, you'll miss the turning point in the other side of the shadow. Boy. Okay. Now that I got the clamp meanings of these, I'm gonna go through this again, but like read the clamp portions of it. So for the fight, we got for clamp for Yuletide. The clamp version is an omen to the big turning point. Message. You will be thanked for taking the lead without hesitating and for going through a lot of trouble for people. Physical strength and willpower are enhanced, and a current misfortune can be fixed. Warning. Don't build up on momentum, or you will make a stupid error in judgment. An elaborate preliminary investigation is necessary. Listening to the advice of an elder is a plus. Then, I don't think I got to this one, actually. The snow? Let's see how far I got. Because I know I got, like, at least until maybe the through. Actually, I got pretty far. Oh my god. Actually, I did finish the whole thing. I just needed to finish the Mysterious Leroy portions. Yeah, there really wasn't much I had left when I did this document, so I definitely need to finish it when I have the chance. Anyway, the snow. Clamp. Let's get the clamp version. The snow for Imelec. A new beginning. Peace. Purity. Message. Change your attitude and create a new beginning. It is a very good time to start taking lessons. You will be able to associate with great mentors. Warning. Stop fussing about the past. Try changing your point of view and take an active part in the new world. And then we got the song for Ostara. Joy, harmony, the energy of healing. Message. It becomes possible to express what you want to convey freely when you learn to respect the opinion of the other party. Plan something new with your friend. It would be good for you to go on a trip. Warning. If you tend to find happiness on your own, it will not be easy. Everyone should share their happiness with each other. Then move. Be careful about fidgety actions and remarks. Message. Though it's not bad, your natural fortune is a bit off timing-wise. The cause seems to be an impromptu remark and or a whimsical action. Don't become a person who does nothing with... What the heck? Okay. Sorry about the sound. The cause seems to be an impromptu remark and or a whimsical action. Don't become a person who does nothing but over-exaggerate. Warning. Keep your promises. Communicate to the... My gosh. Sorry. Not muting the audio capture. There we go. That way nothing unexpected comes up. Anyway. Warning. Keep your promises. Communicate to the best of your ability. It's easy to become influenced by feelings, so think before you speak. Actually, the Failmore meanings are actually pretty close to the clamp ones that I put in here. It's interesting. Anyway, the big for Beltana. There we go. The big. The big. Sorry, it's going a little bit. Big possibility and ability. An increase in the thirst for knowledge. Message. At this time, your desire to learn will be intense. There is also a good chance for you to level up, improving every plan and possibility in the process. An unexpected accomplishment might take place involving an impossible, in your opinion, love or relationship or dream or goal of yours. That's pretty straightforward. Warning. Significant hints and information about the future can be obtained if you go to group activities and parties. Okay. So, wait. Did I do the move? Yeah, I did the move. Okay. Yule, Imble, Astara, Beltana, Letha, Lunasa, Earthy, and the Nameless. Okay, Earthy. Source of life, symbol of effort and acceptability. Message. Now it's time to focus on the foundation. What is important are the basics, and to not forget to make an effort. There is no immediate effect, but the results will eventually bring about a big chance to become productive. Warning. Occasionally, a big heart can accept and stop everything. Nothing turns egocentric, and there is no expected growth. Interesting. Then we get to the Nameless, our love card here. The Nameless. Where are you, Nameless? Here we go. Oh, right. Clamp does not have a version of that, so we're just gonna go with what Tumblr and Mysterious Leroy said about it. Anyway, next. The Cloud and the Mist. So I'll go with the Mist first because I did scroll down quite a bit. The Mist. Ascertain the situation and decide which direction you will take. Message. You are given the chance to reconsider what you want to do. You will not be able to fully analyze the problems as a result of your indecisiveness. Warning. Be calm. If you think simply and with honest feelings, the mist surrounding you will eventually turn into good weather. The Cloud. Let's see what the clamp says about the cloud. Here we go. The decision decides the outcome. Choose your decisions carefully. Message. Your ability to make decisions wisely is questioned. Relax and open your heart before judging a situation. If you make the best decision, your heart will be at ease. Warning. Your heart determines whether your luck will rise or fall. Happy and optimistic people attract other people, and good luck is sure to follow. And then finally, the float. Float, 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 float. There we go. The clamp. Liberation from restraint. Freedom. Message. If you make a steady effort, you will be freed from all pressures. When you don't make a steady effort, it's a sign of pending troubles. Be careful to pay attention to personal relationships, including romantic ones. Warning. When it comes to decisions concerning financial problems and work, you should follow an elder's advice instead of making an arbitrary decision. And I did add this little asterisk to this advice. Elder is not limited to an older person. It could also be someone who has more experience. Of course, please use your discernment on whether the provided advice is beneficial to your situation. Which goes for anyone, really, so to speak. And now, this is where I reveal why I find the loop interesting. Because Mysterious Leroy puts it as kind of a repetitive loop, almost like a racetrack. Been there. I mean, Fillmore also puts it as being in a rut or going in circles, but it also talks about perseverance. Here is Clamp's interpretation of the loop. It's a little different. So, like, while both Leroy and Tumblr also kind of put it in like a loop, like going in circles, being repetitive, stuck in a rut. Here's what Clamp interprets it that. Here's how Clamp interprets it. They interpret it as connection, a chance to step up, almost like a rubber band. Message. If there are sympathizing, gentle feelings, a lot of people and things begin to connect. I already said that. I just said that. Liquid deep friendship, greater aid will likely be acquirable. Warning. You will go round and round in circles if you can't develop any self-satisfaction. Bright, open feelings are important. Okay. And then finally, we'll go to the shadow, what the clamp meaning is. And we will end my reading for a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I need to do that. Hopefully, my laptop does not be a jerk. Anyway, the shadow, the unknown, the reason, and associated with the problem. I already read that. Okay, sorry. I read those already. So I'm pretty much already on top of it. And then I think I also read. Yeah, I played Leroy's meaning and the Tumblr meaning, so that's my reading in a nutshell. I know that was a long one, and I'm sorry again for all the technical difficulties. For those tuning in from YouTube, I will post everything from the big up until the mist online, so hopefully it'll fill in some gaps. But I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. Hopefully, my laptop doesn't go out until then. So please, 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 please stay tuned. Ugh. But we will be back. So I'll be back.